Hi, welcome to a new episode of The Young and the Restless. We open at the hospital and we see Elena ask Sally about her symptoms, and she and Adam provide information to Elena, but her pain intensifies. We see Sharon at her house is worried if Cameron will hurt Faith. And Nick asks her to stay strong, Faith will be okay. Then Chance arrives and Nick tells Chance about the tunnel that Cameron dig through the sewers. And Chance questions Sharon what Cameron said, and Sharon thinks that they made things worse by confronting him. And then they search through a suitcase of Cameron's, and Sharon finds something. Then we see Cameron has Faith tied up and gagged, and he tells Faith that she deserves better than Sharon because Sharon let her down. Cameron tells Faith that all he has done is love Sharon for 20 years, yet she has been a bitch to him. Faith's mouth, as we see, is gagged up so she cannot respond. While he rants about Sharon, Faith tries to wiggle out of the bandage she is in, and Cameron continues to rant about Sharon using him and treating him like garbage, yet still he loves her. We see Sharon finds one of her dresses in Cameron's bag, and then she realized that Cameron was in her house for a while now, and they find drawings of GC's sewage system. And Sharon gets a call from an unknown caller, and it's Cameron crying how she broke his heart. And Sharon asks to hear from Faith, and he says that's not possible. Sharon cries and begs him not to let her go, and Cameron says that it's too late for that. Sharon cries and says that she will run away with him. Nick yells to let go of Faith, and Cameron says Faith will be in the place they expected to find him dead, his dead body years ago. Back at the hospital, Adam asks Elena to do something about the pain, and Elena says that she will contact Sally's OBGYN to get back and she'll get back to them. Sally then cries that she is scared, and Sally cries that it's her fault because she was stressed out about Nick, and she should have listened to Adam and stay at home. Adam begs her to stop and that everything is going to work out. Adam tries to distract Sally by talking about holidays for their baby, and Sally wants to make the holiday special for their baby. Then Adam comes back and says that Elena comes back and says that Dr. Chandler is on her way. Then Elena says that there are concerns about her symptoms and that they are life-threatening to her and the baby, and they may have to do an early delivery. Sally says it's way too early to deliver the baby, and Elena says that they have to determine what's best as the doctor for her and the baby. Then Sally wants Adam to go and call Nick. And I'm like, why, Sally? Why are you still worried and focused on Nick when your life and your baby's life is in danger? Like, why? Then Adam says that he will go and do it, and Adam vows to stay by her side throughout everything, so she needs not worry. Sally thanks him, and as Adam leaves to go call Nick, Sally says that hope is a beautiful name. Then we see Sharon is pretty angry and says that he knew to get to Faith before he escaped. And Chance and Nick came up with a plan to go into the sewer from different directions to catch Cameron off guard. But Sharon says that they are not leaving her, and she knows how to end Cameron. In the sewers, we see Cameron talks about the kids that he would have had with Sharon, and he asks Faith to help him with convincing her mom. He tells Faith that he and her mom belong together and they can be a real family, and he apologized for killing the cat and says that that's on and says that's on Sharon for ignoring him. And he takes the gag off of Faith, gives her water, and Cameron then drags Nick. But Faith isn't having him calling out her father and tells him that he will never be half the man as Nick. Cameron threatens to put the gag back on, and he regrets dragging her down there. Faith says that you can stop it. He says that Nick started it. Cameron believes that Nick needs to be dead so that he can be a family with Sharon and Faith, and tells Faith that I'm your new dad. He then gives Faith the water to drink, and she spits it right back on him. Back at the hospital, we see Adam tries to call Nick, but it went to voicemail. However, he leaves a message. And Adam stands there and prays that Sally and the baby are okay. But Adam then calls Victor and asks if he has spoken to Nick, and Victor asks if something is wrong with Sally and the baby. Adam, however, hangs up as Elena approaches him, and she reveals that Sally is currently unconscious and the medication isn't working, and she is at an extreme risk for placental rupture, and tells him that he has to make a choice: save the baby or save Sally. Then we see Faith ask Cameron why is he doing it, and Faith asks, if you love her, why are you doing this to her? And he claims that the only him can give Sharon true love, because Sharon has been married to a bunch of losers before. Faith calls him out for beating her mom, and he threatens that she should shut her mouth. And then they hear a sound, and Cameron says that the show is on time, and he runs off, and Faith yells for mom. Back at the hospital, Adam tells Elena that he can make that decision. Is there anything else that they can do? And Elena says that there is no other choice. He needs to make a decision because time is of the essence. And Adam asks for 2 minutes with Sally. He kisses Sally and then he tells her their lives together. But Sally's unconscious, and Adam doesn't think that he is the one to make such a life or death decision. Elena then comes in and says that it's time, and she tells Adam that if he doesn't make the call, the doctors will. Then we see Victor and Nikki arrive at Sharon's house, and they wonder what's happened here. And he tells Nikki that there is also something wrong with Adam, Sally, and the baby. And they wonder what happened here at Sharon's house. And Victor calls Sharon to find out what happened, but didn't get her. I'm like, Victor, why haven't your security updated you? Then we see Sharon finds Faith and loosens her. And Faith thinks that Cameron set up a trap. But then Nick arrives and they try to run. But Cameron then holds a knife to Sharon's throat and says, not so fast, sweetie. Then Adam asks Elena, how is Sally? It seems like the surgery is over. And she says that they were able to stabilize Sally, but they couldn't save the baby. Then we see Nikki finds the papers of the canal. While Victor is questioning his security, why have they informed him about what's going on? And they said that Nick told them what to do and they were taking orders from Nick. Victor got pissed and says the only person you're supposed to take orders from is me. And Victor then fires the security and tells them to leave and never come back. Then Victor runs off to find them in the sewer canal. Then we see Cameron tells Nick not to take any step. Sharon begs him to let her resolve it while he holds the knife to her throat. Then Nick tells him to let Sharon and Faith go, and they fight man to man. But Cameron gives Nick another choice and tells him to choose who lives or dies, Sharon or Faith. But Nick tries to send Faith away and gives her direction to leave, but Kenneth threatens and says not so fast. We then find out that Faith has a bomb tied on her, so she can't run, and says that Cameron says that Nick has to make a choice. At the hospital, Sally wakes up, and she is surprised that Adam is still there, and Sally asks how is the baby back in the canal. Cameron tells Nick to make a choice as he wants to take everything from him. He says that he is doing the same thing that Nick did to him and tells Nick that he has 30 seconds. Cameron then says that he's gonna die anywhere, so it doesn't matter. But he has to destroy Nick's life first. And Cameron counts down, and Sharon pulls a knife out from her leg, slices Cameron's hand, and Chance comes with his team. And Sharon kicks away the bomb controller. Chance tells him to get on the ground. Sharon then stabs Cameron in the chest, and we see that this shocks both Nick, Chance, and Fate. And Cameron laughs and says that how lovely, and then falls to the ground. And we end with us looking at the bomb controller, and we see that Cameron's hands is close to the device. So I'm like, is he really dead? But thanks for watching. Bye.